Unless your parents set up a trust fund for you, or you're a tech wizard that has designed a fancy new cell phone app that puts filters over your face and your photos or calls a taxi for you, you're not going to make your millions until a little later on in life. And that means that purchasing your Italian sports car is going to have to wait. For those people that have made their money, they already have a family as well. And because you have a family, sometimes that Italian sports car needs to wait until the kids are in college. It doesn't have to anymore. There's a slew of luxury SUVs for you to choose from. So you can still drive around in a fairly expensive but luxurious and sporty SUV. Now the Germans give us the BMW X5, X6, the Mercedes-Benz GLS. We've got it with the Audi Q7, VW Touareg, and of course, who can forget the Porsche Cayenne. Well, those are all good and well, but what happens if you want something a little more Italian? What do you go for then? Well, in that case, you go for the Maserati Levante. Now, the Germans do luxury quite well, but in terms of the styling, I'm a little unsure. But none of them offer you beautiful Italian styling. And that's what you're getting with the Levante. This one is fitted with the optional 21-inch pack, which is going to give you these beautiful 21-inch alloy wheels, carbon fiber trim, and of course, red brake calipers. I think it's a really good-looking vehicle. Front end mimics a little bit of the Ghibli, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good-looking vehicle. Overall, I really do like the way that it's styled. It has a presence on the road that is, well, unmistakably supercar. The interior is just as attractive. With the 21-inch sport pack, we've got the red leather and carbon fiber inserts. It is stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I place a lot of emphasis on interiors, and this one is winning me over. It's comfortable, it's well bolted together, everything feels amazing. The fit and finish is, it is just sublime. It's beautifully designed without being Maserati's typical clutter. It's actually quite intuitive, it's well thought out. You can see that this is a vehicle that they've designed for the masses more than just for the individual. It's got a wonderful infotainment system here. It's a touchscreen unit. It's got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And it's got a Harman Kardon sound system to die for. It really sounds amazing in here. We've got heated seats. We've got a whole lot of comfort and convenience as well as safety systems. There's blind spot detection. We've got cross-traffic warnings. There's adaptive cruise control with lane departure warning. Just a warning, not an assist. It's not going to steer for you, but it is going to warn you when you're straying a little bit. Power tailgate, beautiful panoramic roof, climate control. Actually, very, very nice place to spend time. I am enjoying driving this. It is a bit of a pity that we don't get the petrol models here in South Africa. Well, not yet at least. What we get is a 3-litre V6 turbo diesel. Makes 205 kilowatts and 600 Newton meters. So if you were thinking of towing with the Levante, which I wouldn't recommend, it would be able to. I just don't think it would look right. That's why I'm not recommending it. The 600 Newton meters, that'll do just fine. It's got plenty of get up and go, and the 8-speed gearbox is actually very, very good. It's a little unnecessary, these pedals behind the steering wheel, so there's no real need to put it into manual. The pedals themselves are beautiful, but just think of it as a bit of a garnish rather than an actual tool. There's no point in banging up and down the gears in a turbo diesel, not manually at least. The gearbox itself is very smooth, very quiet. You hardly feel the shifts. I tell you what, it's a sporty drive despite being this big SUV. It's all-wheel drive, and we've got Maserati's Skyhook system, which is a variable damper system. So the shock absorbers are continually adjusting to give you the best ride, depending on what sort of ride mode you've selected. Well, we can change the ride height as well. We've got 5 different ride heights. There's an easy entry, which is its lowest setting. It's great for climbing in and out of, especially for those of us that are a little vertically challenged. There's a sport mode, which is about 35 millimeters lower than the normal mode, which is the third mode. The sport mode can also beef up and stiffen up the steering and the suspension, gives you a little bit of throttle response, and of course livens up the audio that's being plumbed into the cabin from the motor. Other than your normal mode, we can raise it by 25 millimeters. That's off-road 1. We can raise it even further to off-road 2, which is going to give us 40 millimeters additional ground clearance. And I think that's lovely. It's not going to go and traverse a serious 4x4 path, but if you are taking it off the tarmac, it's good to know that you can in the Levante. So if you do subscribe to an active lifestyle, the Levante is a great choice. Interior space is amazing as well, so you can take your friends with you. There's plenty of packing space in the boot. Rear legroom here is phenomenal. It really is a nice large vehicle, but not without being cumbersome. It's not difficult to drive, it's actually quite easy. We've got great visibility here. But the suspension in sport mode around these twisties, it really is just eating it up. The greatest of ease. What amazes me the most though about the Maserati is the pricing. You're getting all of this kit, cracking motor, a fantastic suspension, and you're getting it for under 2 million rand, and well under 2 million rand. The Levante starts at 1,650,000 rand. The pack that we've got on here is just under 200,000 rand, but still, it's a cracking vehicle. It's got all the mod cons, and it's under 2 million rand. You can quite comfortably spec one of the Germans to over 2 million rand. And I tell you what, it's not going to be half as good looking or half as entertaining to drive as this Maserati Levante. I think it's a great choice for those of you that are tired of the German offerings, want something a little different, want something a little Italian, and you want a Maserati. So if you're not really in the mood for the German offerings, that was close.